And hello to all my Pisces friends, I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for December 2023. Now today they have dialed up for my great Pisces. One of the newest spreads that I do, it is called Thirds. Thirds BME. BME stands for beginning, middle, and end. So there is likely something in the middle of your month that they want to bring attention towards, or at least pinpoint activities toward the beginning and end, because there are already cards that I have that point toward the beginning or the end, but there is nothing that points toward the middle of the month, and that is actually between the moon cycles too. So it is very important for Pisces in the month of December. So we're going to look into the beginning, middle, and end and see what's going on for your December, and they can talk about anything they want in there too. So the floor is wide open to Spirit. They've asked that I conclude your reading today with an angel protection card. In fact, we're going to be doing 2 angel protection cards. That'll just give a little extra emphasis, maybe toward a certain part of the month, or maybe just in general for the whole thing. We're also going to conclude your reading with the Rune Stone, which we always do. We're going to go through a Rune Stone to Moon cycle for you. Very exciting set of moon cycles. You don't want to miss those. That is going to be out of this world toward the end of your video, and conclude with homily, which will be just as strong and powerful for you. So we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, Pisces. We're going to get started right now. No reason to wait. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us a bunch of time. And now I'm going to bring you in my overhead so you can watch. I like to share my table with you and show you what is going on. And we are live and recording. Okay, Pisces, these are my ritual cuts. Cutting each deck into thirds, putting them back together in a separate order. Satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It is the same procedure for personal private readings, so it's just like you're here with me now. A lot of work has been done with the chapters too, guys. If there's anything you want to skip past or revisit, most importantly, you can do that very easily in the chapters at the bottom bar. So let's get started with your third spread, BME. Of course, this is going to be the beginning of the month right here. Pretty short, not a lot to talk about at the beginning. Let's see what the middle has in store for you. Also pretty short. They're being easy with you guys, Pisces. Maybe they feel like you're in good shape. You just need a little bit of info and that's it. And then our end. Okay, our end is a much bigger theme. And also entirely blocked. Are we on screen? Yep, we are. So, let's see, because we have blockages everywhere, so let's do some math real quick. We have 5 blockages in entirety out of 7 cards. So that is going to do a discard for the whole set to see if Spirit wants to upright the whole thing. They say no. So we have to go to just this one part only. We're going to do a discard just on this one set. If Spirit wants to upright that whole thing, they do say yes. So that's going to stay blocked. This is going to be completely uprighted. And the order has to stay the same. That is incredibly important in tarot. The last thing that we're going to need for card work is going to be this one right here, getting an Oracle Angel card, which is going to be that one. And all the card work is ready for you guys. So let me just show you up close. This is going to be the first third of the month, about the first 10 days. Middle of the month, right here. And then a monstrous closure. Way to wrap up 2023 with this right here. All right, Pisces, let's get to work. Let's do it. Of course, we're going to save that last one for last. We're just going to go in chronological order here. So to start, the first 10 days of December, guys, what they talk about is my Prince of Swords and other decks. This is a knight. This means inaction with the mindset. So there is going to be a lot of indecisiveness, perhaps, in the beginning part of December. If you have a major important decision to make, that could be by design. Maybe it's not time to rush things, guys. Maybe it's time to take your time in the beginning part of December, not to rush much. They show inaction with the mind. So if we're not thinking clearly, or if we don't have all the information necessary, we cannot make the best decisions possible for us. So because of that, I just ask that you be a little patient these first 10 days of your month. The next thing we show here is a little bit of boredom, discontent, not being fully happy with something that is going on. And this can be a heart attachment too, which is a love corner attachment. Anybody close to your heart can come in here. It is not just love and relationships. What if you're single? They could be talking about a family member. They could be talking about a friend. They could also be talking about a pet here. So they show boredom and discontent. So there is just what Spirit wants you to do usually when this card comes up is it's a call to find something to get interested in. If things are boring and, ho-hum and not much is going on new and exciting, well, you have the ability to change that. And Spirit saying, hey, find something to get excited about. Maybe it's a hobby or interest. Maybe it's, going on a short vacation, doing this, doing that. Whatever it is for you is what they're calling for, because they don't want you to get kind of stuck in doing nothing. Okay, that's when energy gets bound up, it doesn't get moving, and bad things happen there. We want energy to be flowing as much as possible. So any kind of boredom or discontent there, keep in mind that is something that you can easily overcome. So let's get into your middle of the month. This is a big push for why Spirit wanted this. They wanted to describe how important it is to save money, nurture finances in the middle of the month. Okay, it's going to be difficult to do with the holidays. There's no doubt. However, it doesn't mean that you have to spend everything you have on the holidays. You know what I mean? Save a little bit left over for a rainy day, for emergencies. There's some reason that they're bringing this up. And they do show that a lot of you Pisces are actually doing really good with money, doing really good at saving. And maybe that is just to keep the momentum going. Maybe we just don't want to, mess things up. We don't want to hit that speed bump. We want to keep things going nice and smooth for you. And the next thing they show here is my Nine of Swords. And this is inverted. So, and this can mean some kind of like sickness, some kind of something that is a real pain in the butt, even if it's not a sickness, just like imagine like a flu that just keeps coming back and, nagging symptoms. It just won't seem to go away. It takes forever for your body to heal completely. That is the energy of it. So even if they're not talking about a sickness, this could be something that just is nagging and just, it keeps bothering you. Like you keep thinking about it. It's kind of like running around rent free in your head. Okay. So whether it's actually something physical, like a germ, or it's something like more of a mental sickness or a mental anguish, like, oh man, I'm so tired of work doing this to me and making me work these hours and not listening to what I have to say. Wherever this pops up is showing that really kind of you are like this. If you go back to the beginning where I showed you the overhead, you can see this guy in the card. He's got a sword going through his heart, so it shows you how much of a pain that this can be. But he's also going like this. He's like, sick of it, tired, fed up. Okay, so that can go back to the financial card too here, like saying, you know what, hey, I'm just tired of being broke all the time. Hey, maybe I'm just tired of like not being able to buy the things I want to buy, or whatever it is for you. And I got to give you one more kind of overlay of context here, because the Queen of Pentacles are usually money. It's a coin, but it can also represent health. So if this is a health message for some of you Pisces, it will be. They're saying here to nurture your health in the middle part of December. Maybe it's a good time to go get a checkup. Maybe it's a good time to really watch what you eat, or whatever it is that you're trying to do with health. And I do feel like you guys have done a good job with that. However, there's always room for improvement, and we want to kind of get away. We want to, make sure that you have your immunity built up. We don't want these sicknesses to come in. We don't want mind sicknesses either, so that is just as detrimental for you. So whatever that is, they want you to figure that out in the middle of the month. Hopefully we've given you some good tools to do just that. So as we get into your end of the month, this is a big deal for Pisces, huge deal at the end of your month. This is when we break into the full moon cycle. We'll talk about that shortly, but the card that came up first is my Emperor card. It is the God card in tarot. It is the supreme authority. So it's basically saying you are the boss at the end of this month. For some people, that could be a literal thing. Like you could actually be being a boss, getting a promotion, starting a business, dictating what people below you do, something like that. So really taking supreme authority, and it doesn't have to be about work. This can be about any corner of your life, taking supreme authority over your health. We mentioned that in the middle of the month. This could be taking supreme authority over your finances. We also talked about that middle of the month. Or, something in the love corner. Saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to just be single for a while. That's just what I'm going to decide. That's what I'm going to do. Or maybe for some of you, it could be the other way around. Hey, I'm going to decide that I'm going to go find somebody great, in 2024, and I need to start that process right now. So whatever it is for you, they show really making a really firm push here with something late in December, very late. And for some of you, this could fit very well for getting rid of stuff out of your life that needs to go, because like I said, it also aligns to the full moon perfectly. It's the best time to get things out of your life. There's a lot of really good energy here for you Pisces too. Every single card here I have for your end of the month is great. The next thing we show here is my success card, my trophy case card. Just like putting trophies on a shelf. That's the energy of it here. It's an accomplishment, maybe multiple accomplishments, things going good, checking in good, nice little success push for the late part of December for you. Also good victory, good energy for the home. The home environment is coming in very, very good. Nice family, nice camaraderie, nice perhaps money, maybe because the middle of the month you've done so good and now you're reaping those rewards. at the end of December. They bring in Counselor as my Oracle Angel card to talk about the specific end of your month for you. And it says that you are a natural counselor, and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. Okay, I paid the most attention to counselor because that just kind of wraps up all those words in one word. It's basically saying here that other people rely on you for advice, for reassurance, maybe just a little bit of valued opinion sometimes. This is a great time for you to help other people out. That's Spirit's way of saying it. Other people that need you. It is a good time for you to give back. And of course, energetically, we can give back unlimited. It doesn't have anything to do with money whatsoever to help somebody out. Talk to them, make them feel good about something, see what's on their mind, help them through hard times. All that kind of stuff fits very, very well into late December for you. So I did promise you guys Rune Stone angel cards. Let's do the angels first while I'm looking at this. I promised you 2 angel protection. So we got this one and we got this one. First thing we want to talk about is they bring in indigo and crystal children. When this comes up, I pay the most attention really to children. That's Spirit's way of putting a big emphasis on children are a big deal for Pisces, not just the end of December, but the whole thing. Maybe you guys will be spending more time with your children than usual. Maybe for some of you, it is the other way around. You'll be spending time with your parents because we're talking generation gap apart. And it says in the card that you have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. That may apply to some of you specifically, but for the most part, like I said, I just bring up children. Okay, children are a big theme for Pisces in the month of December. Your other angel protection is bringing in the peace card. They want you guys to just find that good, peaceful mentality. There's not a lot of push for any big changes in December for Pisces, but they want you to get to a place where you don't have the stress, the anxiety. It is important in December for you guys to just be like that calm, relaxed, kind of weight off the shoulder type of thing, not having to worry about a lot of the problems of other months. It says in the card that peace comes from remembering that only love is real. And that's a big push in the love corner too. Getting that love corner, making sure that's in good shape. They didn't really talk about that a whole lot in your spread, unless it's kind of the boredom part of the beginning of the month that we talked about. But nonetheless, finding a place of peace is going to be huge for December. So just keep that in mind. If there's any kind of toxic situations, it's going to be an avoid situation for Pisces. It is not the time to go to war. It is not the time to deal with toxic stuff or a lot of confrontational stuff. It's just not the time. Maybe January is more go to war for Pisces, but right now it is a time to kick it up, relax, have a good time, find peace, enjoy the children. That's what we have for your angel protection. Now I'm going to grab that Rune Stone for you. They're already mixed up, but I will give them one more swirl. Got a jumper. And here we go. Pisces Rune Stone. December. It's going to be this one right here. This is interesting because this is the rune of separation. Separation. So Spirit's jumping me back to the very end of your December here, your thirds for the end of the month, because this is where the full moon hits. And the full moon is all about separation. It is creating space between things. We're going to talk more about space in your homily, but creating space here at the end of the month is going to be huge toward your success, toward your home successes, your environmental successes, getting away from something that maybe causes you grief, causes you problems, or just stress, or it's just no good for you. We talked about finding that peace. So there is something that Spirit wants you to consider separating yourself from, whether it's a person, whether it's a friend who's not so much of a friend, maybe leading you down a wrong path, or just too drama or something like that. We already talked about no drama. Separating yourself from something for health, maybe a bad habit there. Separating yourself from maybe financial habits and getting more into the saving mode, middle of the month at least, specifically there. So you can see kind of separation through your different parts. And even in the beginning, when we talked about the boredom and finding something to get interested in, sometimes you got to separate yourself to find yourself. Kind of when you wander out in the forest, that's when you can, get divinely inspired and stuff like that. So creating space, separation from something, someone, or some situation is what they talk about there for your Rune Stone. So very good. Short and sweet spread. Like I said, Pisces are probably in really good shape as we enter December, going through into the new year. But let me cut away for your moon cycles, which are going to be out of this world, guys. And also your homily. They're going to be posted side by side, right back together, back to back. And I'm going to cut away for that. But when I say cut away, I actually mean blast away. Okay guys, it is moon cycle forecast time, and I figure what better place, what better environment to bring you the moon cycles than the lunar surface herself. So let's talk about some December, because oxygen is running low and I gotta get back to Earth so I can give you guys your homily. But first, let's talk about some December moons, shall we? The first thing that comes in December is the new moon. The new moon is the best time to attract new things and bring new things into your life. This happens on December 12th. Doesn't mean you have to do these things on December 12th, but earlier in the month is much better than later for bringing in new things. So whether it's something new with health, some new financial plan for the new year perhaps, maybe something new with love if you're trying to find some new love, earlier part of December is the best time to do this, guys. Something new with work, also early December, guys. The universe doesn't care what you use it for, but these lunar energies are already all around us, so why not use them to your benefit? I put together a moon cycle cheat sheet that you guys can check out on my website. It's free every single month, and that is a little graphic illustration to show you how these moon cycles move in and out. But before I let you go, let's talk about that full moon, because the full moon comes in the day after Christmas, December 26th. So the end of the month is the best time to get stuff out of your life, guys. Whether it's baggage, projects you need to get wrapped up and finished, maybe something you got to sell, something you got to get wrapped up, something toxic you got to get out of your life, maybe a person, maybe a bad habit. The end of the month is the best target date for these things. And again, the moon cycle cheat sheet is parked on scottsagent.com if you'd like to see a graphic illustration of this. But let's get back to Earth and deliver you your homily. All right, friends, welcome into your homily, December 2023 edition. My name is Scott Sagent, and the topic of this homily today is giving yourself the space to grow. And in the same way that outer space has no boundaries, it is infinite in every single direction, so are you as a spiritual sovereign being, child of God. The only restrictions that you have, that we all have, are the ones that we impose upon ourselves. So that's what we're going to be talking about a little today here. Stresses, anxieties, limiting beliefs, and of course fears. These are things that we impose upon ourselves that hold us down and do not let our higher selves reach our full potential. And we can see real, true examples of this in the physical world, because even though we're talking about spiritual here today, as above, so below, and there are physical, real world examples I can give you. The first one I'm popping up on the screen here, this is a picture of two basil plants. I got them posted right next to each other so you can see the size difference, the growth difference. These, I grew these from seeds, first of all, in my office, so they do not look like the basil plants that you probably see at your store, but that's okay. But for the sake of this video, you'll understand the difference here, because these seeds started at the exact same time. The only difference between them is the fact that one is in a larger pot than the other. One is in a smaller, more constrictive pot. And you can see the massive growth difference between the two. No other factors have changed except for that. But let's also talk about something that's called a plecostomus. This is an aquarium fish. It is part of the sucker catfish family. And these fish, like many wonderful animals, have the ability to adapt to their environment in a large way. These plecostomuses, these plecos, they can actually adapt their size to the tank size that is surrounding them, basically their environment. They're adapting to their environment. And this comes as probably a survival mechanism if you think about it, because if they get splashed into a puddle and they can't get back to the main hub of their lake, of their pond, well, now they're forced to grow up in this little constricted area. So of course there would be little benefit to growing to be the entire size of this puddle or their new tank. Of course that would be very detrimental to their health. They would not make it. They would be too big for their environment, right? So they have an ability to adapt their size and slow down their growth rate to the size of the tank. So what happens, this is my question for you: what happens if you remove these constrictions and restrictions on yourself? So for example, choose the thing that holds you down the most, that restricts you the most from the person you're trying to be and the places you're trying to go in life. Imagine how that would feel and how much better your life would be if that was out of the way. Imagine if that was solved. How much better and how much better of a trajectory you would be on as a person. You would feel fantastic, and you would feel like there's a big weight lifted off your shoulder too, and that there's maybe nothing holding you back. Well, this is all encouragement so you can go and attack that one thing, whatever that is. And of course, that is an inner game thing that takes some inner work, and that's not what this video is all about, but you gotta start somewhere. And the first thing you gotta do is bring awareness to the problem, and that is how you can start addressing it. How do I solve this problem? What are the things I can do? What is the inner work that I can do to get past this and live my best expansive life ever with no restrictions and giving yourself infinite amount of space? So I encourage you all to look at that one thing. And if you're very motivated, maybe look at a few things in your life that apply to this set of circumstances so that you can bring awareness to it and you can solve this inner work yourself and you can get these restrictions out of your way, because of course, none of us are ever going to win a race that we don't start. None of us are ever going to complete a project that we don't begin. There's only one way to start it, and that is with you. So that concludes your homily for December 2023. I thank you so much for joining the readings. I hope you have a great December, giving yourself plenty of space, and I know you will.
So I guess the